And if I told you that the sky is not as we imagine it, in the ancient and mysterious book of Enoch, there are astonishing descriptions of celestial realms, magnificent beings, and forbidden secrets. Are we ready to discover how the sky truly looks? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear may change your perspective forever. The Bible offers glimpses of the beauty of heaven, but the book of Enoch takes us deeper, presenting inspiring visions of heavens beyond the common. This ancient text, although not included in the traditional biblical canon, has fascinated believers with its vivid descriptions of celestial realms. It reveals that heaven is not just a singular place, but a reality of multiple layers, each serving a distinct purpose. Let's embark on this journey and explore what Enoch's revelations tell us about the mysteries of heaven. This video is brought to you by Bible Chat, the #1 app for getting biblical answers to your everyday questions. Bible Chat is like having a Bible scholar by your side, ready to help at any time of the day. So whenever you're at work or school and someone asks you a tough question about the Bible, you can simply open the app, ask the question, and get answers in seconds. Click the link in the description to use it for free. Imagine walking alongside Enoch, the righteous man who walked with God, as he describes what his eyes have beheld in his writings. Enoch takes us beyond the earthly realm on a grand tour through 10 different levels of heaven. These levels contain overwhelming beauty, divine beings, and profound holiness. But the journey also unveils a clear message. Heaven is a place of divine order, justice, and unimaginable splendor, designed to reflect the glory of God. Remember to watch the entire video. You won't want to miss the powerful revelations about divine mysteries and the final judgment that awaits us. Stay until the end, where I will share a profound insight that may change how you view your own journey of faith. Let's dive in. The first heaven, according to the book of Enoch, is what we might imagine as the sky that stretches above us, the realm of clouds, winds, and ever-changing weather patterns. It is not just a place of atmospheric phenomena, but a space filled with purpose and divine oversight. In this realm, Enoch witnesses angels responsible for the treasuries where snow, hail, rain, and dew are stored, awaiting the moment to be released upon the earth. These treasuries are not chaotic storerooms, but highly organized realms governed by angels acting under God's direct command. Each snowflake, raindrop, or hailstone is not accidental but part of God's intricate design for the world. This description emphasizes that God is sovereign even over the smallest elements of nature. The forces of the weather, whether a gentle rain or a powerful storm, respond to divine instructions. The changing of the seasons, the sun breaking through the clouds after rain, and the balance between drought and abundance are all carefully orchestrated. This representation aligns with what we see in verses like Job 38:22-30, where God asks, "Have you entered the treasuries of the snow or seen the treasuries of the hail?" This shows that nature is not just a random occurrence, but part of God's intricate design, with his hand actively working behind every change in the elements. Moving beyond the heavens, to the second heaven, Enoch paints a dark and sobering picture. A realm filled with darkness, melancholy, and captivity. Here the fallen angels, once majestic and powerful beings, are held in chains, awaiting their final judgment. These beings, often referred to as the Watchers, were those who abandoned their divine calling and corrupted humanity by introducing forbidden knowledge and sin. In this sinister and threatening place, Enoch is confronted with the raw reality of divine justice. The second heaven serves as a powerful reminder that even the most powerful beings are not beyond the reach of God's authority. This realm of imprisonment emphasizes that rebellion against God has severe and inevitable consequences. The Watchers, who once enjoyed the presence of God and the privileges of heaven, are now reduced to prisoners in darkness, confined in misery and deprived of hope. Their punishment is not merely physical but also spiritual, a separation from the light of God's presence. The second heaven also offers insights into the unfailing justice of God. Although it may seem that the wicked prosper for a time or that sin goes unpunished, Enoch's vision assures us that God is not indifferent. In contrast to the oppressive darkness of the second heaven, the third heaven bursts with indescribable beauty and splendor. This is the domain where the Garden of Eden still flourishes, untouched by the corruption that has marred the earthly realm. It is not just a memory of a lost paradise, but an eternal and living paradise, sustained by the presence of God and overflowing with life, joy, and peace. Here, Enoch contemplates the splendor of creation in its purest form. The trees are lush with abundant fruits, shimmering with celestial light, and the air is filled with the fragrance of divine life. Rivers of crystal clear water flow gently across the landscape, reflecting a brilliance that words can hardly capture. Enoch describes the third heaven as the place of habitation for the souls of the righteous, those who lived in faithful obedience to God. They are gathered here, awaiting the day of resurrection and final reward. In this realm, they experience a taste of the eternal joy that awaits them, resting in the knowledge that they are in the presence of the one they long to see. Their earthly trials have come to an end. In the fourth heaven, Enoch witnesses the celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, the stars, and the planets, following a system of perfect order, governed by angels who ensure that these bodies adhere to God's command. These celestial bodies do not move at random, but operate with precision, rising, setting, and shining according to divine instruction. Enoch sees the designated path of the sun across the sky, the phases of the moon as it waxes and wanes, and the fixed stars in their constellations, all reflecting the sovereign will of God over time, seasons, and cosmic events. The fourth heaven emphasizes that God is a God of order. Just as the sun rises every morning and sets every night, we can also depend on God's faithfulness. Lamentations 3:23 reminds us that His mercies are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. Just as the seasons arrive in their appointed times, God knows the perfect timing to bring blessings, answers to prayers, or discipline into our lives. His delays are not negatives, but part of His carefully designed plan. In this moving realm, the fifth heaven, Enoch encounters a surprising scene: angels consumed by sorrow and silence. These angels, once powerful warriors, now sit in a state of deep lamentation. Although Enoch does not provide all the details about their sadness, their presence offers deep reflection. Heaven is not just a place of joy, but also one where the gravity of divine responsibility is evident. This vision draws attention to God's mission and our role within it. These angels were entrusted with specific responsibilities, but for some reason, whether due to circumstances, misjudgment, or disobedience, they have not succeeded. Their sorrow points to the seriousness of God's calling to every being, whether angelic or human. It is a call not just to obedience, but to faithfulness in completing what God has entrusted to us. The fifth heaven reminds us that failure is not the end. While these angels mourn their unfinished tasks, the fact that they remain in heaven suggests that God's grace is still present. Similarly, when we fail in our mission, God offers redemption and new opportunities. We are encouraged not to be paralyzed by repentance, but to learn from our mistakes and realign ourselves with God's plan. In the sixth heaven, Enoch encounters a magnificent assembly known as the angelic council. This celestial realm is a vibrant and dynamic place where angels gather to deliberate and execute the commands of God. As Enoch contemplates this celestial council, he is struck by the glorious splendor of the angels. Their countenances shine with a purity that reflects the holiness of God, illuminating the surroundings with an ethereal light. Each angel has a unique role, contributing to the divine order that governs both heaven and earth. Enoch observes as they engage in pondered discussions, sharing insights and strategies to fulfill God's will. This level of heaven emphasizes the significance of divine order in obedience. The angels, despite their immense power and glory, willingly submit to God's authority. Their unwavering commitment to follow His commands serves as a powerful reminder for us. The seventh heaven takes us to the heart of divine majesty. Here, Enoch sees the throne of God, surrounded by countless angels worshiping Him day and night. This is the pinnacle of celestial glory, where the presence of God shines with overwhelming light. The image of God's throne is not merely a description of a physical space, but represents the ultimate reality of God's sovereignty over all creation. Everything in heaven revolves around worshiping Him, and every being is created to glorify His name. This vision fills Enoch with reverence, a reminder that heaven is ultimately about the glory of God. It emphasizes that worship is not just an act, but the very essence of existence in the celestial realm. The heavens from the 8th to the 10th reveal divine mysteries in the final judgment. The 7th heaven teaches us about the unfathomable nature of God, reminding us that God is not just a distant creator, but an active participant in the intricate details of our lives. Each piece of knowledge in this realm reflects the sovereignty of God and the divine order that governs the universe. As Enoch observes, it becomes clear that, although human understanding is limited, God's perspective encompasses all time, weaving each thread of existence into a magnificent tapestry of his design. In the 9th heaven, Enoch encounters a realm filled with light and glory, a sanctuary of divine holiness where the purposes of God are unveiled. Here, the atmosphere is charged with reverence, and Enoch is struck by the reality that God sees all. Nothing is hidden from his gaze. Enoch sees countless books containing the records of every person's actions, meticulously chronicled for the day of judgment. Finally, in the 10th heaven, Enoch is confronted with the ultimate reality of divine judgment. This sacred space is where God's final plans for creation converge, culminating in the ultimate reckoning. Here, the atmosphere is laden with both awe and reverence as Enoch witnesses the majesty of God on his throne, preparing to pronounce judgment. As Enoch reflects on his journey through the 7th, 8th, and 9th heavens, he realizes that these divine mysteries are not mere abstractions, but essential truths that impact how we live. The knowledge of God's justice, the weight of our actions, and the promise of a final judgment compel us to align our lives with his purpose. Conclusion. What does Enoch's vision mean for us? The 10 heavens described in the book of Enoch offer a breathtaking view of spiritual realities beyond our world. They remind us of God's sovereignty, his justice, and the eternal joy that awaits those who remain faithful to him. Enoch's vision challenges us to live with an eternal perspective. Just as the angels obey God's commands, we are also called to walk in obedience. And just as the righteous rest in the Garden of Eden, we are invited to find our rest in Christ. The message of the book of Enoch is clear. God is sovereign, his judgment is certain, and his promises are true. Heaven is real and awaits those who live according to God's will. Which part of Enoch's vision resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this exploration encourages you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to not miss any future biblical studies. The visions described in the book of Enoch show us a heaven far beyond our understanding, filled with wonders and mysteries. Could these revelations have been hidden for a reason? What do you think? Leave your comment and share this video with someone who needs to know this truth. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. See you in the next video.